Today we're going to be making the Peek Thru Traveler pattern. I created this pattern about 10 years ago and I've done a little revamp on it by using more modern TPU vinyl, which is a little more pliable and forgiving and decorative actually. And then this is some bonded nylon that I've used for the outside, which keeps it nice and easy to wipe off, especially if you're using it for toiletries. The inside is finished with binding, just a simple binding around the rough edges, and then this is waterproof canvas, and I added a bag tag. So it's super simple but so convenient. It's a great bag for toiletries, traveling, art supplies, sewing supplies, knitting supplies, you name it. Kids supplies, baby diapers and wipes. It's just, there's so many possibilities. And you can take this, you can throw it into another bag. It's just a great pattern and a great bag to have. So let's get started. Okay, to make this pouch, you first off will need the Peek Thru Traveler pattern from my website, shellyjackstudio.com. And once you have that, you're going to want to go ahead and gather up your supplies. I'm using a clear printed TPU vinyl for the clear part, a bonded nylon for the exterior, waterproof canvas for the interior. I've got my zipper, some binding that I made by myself out of the waterproof canvas, which you could totally do, or you could use a double fold. Just has to be the size measurement that's in the pattern. Got my tag, and then you're all in my zipper, the zipper pull, and then you're also going to need some scissors. This 1/4-inch double-sided tape is optional. Seam ripper, marking device, a stiletto is good to have, a ruler, measuring device, some clips and or pins. And then of course you're gonna need your sewing machine and thread. Okay, first I like to prepare my zipper. I just clip it on here. You could use double-sided tape if you want to. I find it's easy enough with just the clips. You take this to the machine and then we're just going to stitch to secure the zipper end. Okay, once you have that attached, then you're going to mark the other end with your measuring device according to the pattern instructions. And then you're going to pinch at that mark, and then you're going to clip it so it folds over like so. And you could use a double-sided tape if you like. I find it's just easiest to clip. And do the same for the other side. It helps a little if you pull it apart. Pinch at the mark. There we go. And then clip it. And then you're going to take it over to your machine and you're just going to tack it so that it stays put. So it kind of folds underneath like that. And then take it to your machine and just stitch it along this end here, the long end. Okay, so now you're going to take your clear vinyl piece and you're going to lie it right sides, pretty side down onto the right side of your exterior fabric, lining up the long edge. And then you're going to take your interior fabric piece, turn that right sides facing the right side of your interior. And then you're going to clip this along the long edge, and then take it to the machine. Lining everything up best you can. One more. And then you're going to take it to the machine and you're going to sew along this edge here according to the seam allowance in the pattern. Once you have that stitched, turn it right side out, finger press. You could clip around here if you wanted to, but you're going to finger press, and then you're going to top stitch along this side, right along that edge, at the seam allowance stated in the pattern. And when you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and you're going to repeat the exact same steps for the remaining back panel pieces. Okay, now that you have both of these sewn together, go ahead and just trim up any loose threads. And then if you're going to use a tag, now would be the time that you would want to put that on. So I'm going to sew this tag onto the back side. Let's see here, one will be the front and one will be the back if you're using non-directional fabric. So I'm just going to flip this over. This will be the top, and then I will center, just kind of make a little mark, and then I've put some double-sided tape on the back of my tag already, and I'm just going to put it right in the center, kind of line it up, eyeball it about right there. That helps it to stick. And then I'll take it to the machine and make sure that I'm not sewing through the front or the back piece, fold that back, and then I'll just sew around the edges of my tag. Okay, so I have the tag sewn on, made sure that it didn't go through to the other side. Now we're going to take the front piece. You're going to grab your zipper. Take this piece, set that aside. And then take your zipper, turn it right side down, and we're going to clip it using the measurements in the pattern all the way down, clipping through all the layers. You want to get through all of these layers here. And then you're going to take it to the machine, and we're going to sew to attach the zipper on using the seam allowance stated in the pattern, and just sew all along this edge. Okay, this was giving me a little bit of trouble with sliding. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little piece of double-sided tape and just put it on the vinyl side to secure the zipper tape so it doesn't slide around when I'm sewing. And you might want to do the same. I made the others on an industrial machine and it was fine. This one I'm sewing on my domestic, and it's just being a little more temperamental. So I will just do that and then press this down, and it'll hold it in place, and it'll be a lot easier to sew. And it holds it a little bit better than the clips. Now that we have that sewn on, we're going to flip this over, finger press, and top stitch on this side of the zipper, making sure that this is folded down and that you're catching this here. And then where it is joined in the center, it can get a little bulky right in this spot here. So if you need to, you can just take your scissors and get in there and trim that just a little bit. And you can also use some double-sided tape if you want to hold this down. And then you're going to take it to the machine and you're going to top stitch all along the zipper edge here, making sure to catch the zipper tape on the other side. I'm just going over this section here again. I don't have a hump jumper, but that would probably help. So I'm just going to reinforce the stitch here, since this skipped a few stitches. Now that this is top stitched, we're going to take the back piece. I'm going to put it right sides together with the front piece. Line it up to the top of that zipper tape, and then we're going to repeat the same step that we just did to attach the zipper to the front. So we're going to clip everything, line it all up, clip it along this edge here so that all the layers are caught in between. And then you're going to take it to the machine and sew it at the seam allowance in the pattern to attach the back panel to the front zipper. Again, you could use double-sided tape. I'm going to try it and see if it'll work better going down this way. So take it to the machine, make sure you catch all the layers and sew down the top edge. So on this side, because right here on the front panel it was a little bit bulky, I didn't trim enough off. I went and really trimmed a lot in here, cut out a bunch of the inside to make it a little easier to fold down. And then I'm going to put a little piece of this double-sided tape right here just to make sure, to help it stick down when sewing. So I'm going to finger press this. And that should help it stay just a little bit better. And then we're going to turn it back over. And top stitch like we did on the front, all the way down. Just want to finger press that as best as you can. Okay, top stitching is done on both sides, and I had a little bit of struggle right here where the seams are because I'm sewing this on my domestic machine. So I would say definitely stick with lighter weight quilting cotton if you're using a domestic machine, and if you're using an industrial that can handle these seams a lot easier, and then your seams will probably be a little bit prettier. But you know what? Nobody's perfect, and it's still really cute and it's secure. So moving on, now we're going to take our little webbing here and we're going to attach it to the front end of the bag. And the measurement is in the pattern, how far down to go. So just take this to the machine and stitch it right along the edge there. If you wanted, you could add a D-ring at this point, but I'm just going to do the webbing. Almost done. Now that we have this attached, unzip this halfway, fold it so the right sides are facing together, line up all your edges, and clip all the way around, making sure to catch all the layers in your clips because we're going to stitch this together. And you also want to make sure that you line up these two pieces here, right here, so that it's nice and even on the bottom. So just take a few clips. This gets a little bit sticky. And again, if you're using a domestic machine, you can take a little bit of sewing machine oil and rub it to the bottom of your presser foot. You could probably even rub it along the edges here, and it will just help it to glide a lot easier. And I think you can also even take a sheet of tissue paper, put it underneath here, and when you're running it through your machine, that will help it to glide along so it doesn't get stuck on the bed of your machine. The industrials, I don't have a problem like that. Okay, so take this to the machine and stitch at the seam allowance in the pattern all the way around, making sure that your zipper is open so that you can turn the bag. Now that that's sewn all the way around, you want to trim your corners and the sides about, I would just not get too close to the stitching, but trim enough off so that there's not too much bulk. Being careful not to trim through or too close to the stitching. So now we have that. Trim up your threads. And the last step. So now we're going to take our binding and we're going to fold it over the sides and clip it into place. And this just gives it a nice clean finish. Go all the way around, tuck your corners in, nice and neat. And then you're going to take it to the machine, stitch it in place, and you'll be all done. Okay, trim up your threads, corners if you have to, if you have a little excess bias tape, which I've got here, just round that off a little. We won't need that. And then it's going to turn it right side out. And this TPU vinyl is great for turning regular clear vinyl is much harder, more challenging to turn inside out, but you could always take a hair dryer and put it on low heat and just kind of hover over it with the hair dryer to help poke out the corners. It's hard to do on camera. And just poke them out as best you can. I have sometimes use my husband's drumstick to poke out these corners. If you have a tool to help you, that makes it easier. Maybe I'll try this here. Poke it out as best as you can. Same here. So cute. And I really like this bonded nylon. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, poke it out a little bit better. Of course, you could box these corners if you wanted, but I like it flat. I don't want to box these. And just keep manipulating it to form it into shape. And so cute. Put some water on there. Let it dry. And you're done. Very cute. And we're done. How cute is this? I just love it. I hope you enjoyed making it as much as I did. I'm going to be honest and say that with this fabric, the nylon and the vinyl, the TPU, it should be done on an industrial machine. I used my domestic. It gave me just a little bit of problems around the bulk and with the sticking. However, on the industrial, it was fine. I actually went on to make a few more for wet bags. So these are perfect to throw wet bathing suits into at the pool, at the beach. When you're all done, change the kids or yourself. Toss it in here, and it's all waterproof and contained in here. And then I made another one using the same pattern, and I just shrunk it down. So this made like a little coin purse, and I attached it with a little gate ring. So you could get one of these. I'll link in the description box where you can get this. But ice cream money, seashells, rocks. And then this is waterproof because you've got your nylon and you've got the waterproof canvas inside if you make it with the waterproof canvas, and your TPU. So cute. Just toss this right into the beach bag. And then for art supplies, I made this one because I am an artist, as you know, and I'm going to have a few painting tutorials on here. And this is also great to throw in the beach bag, or plein air painting, watercolors, your paint brushes, markers, pads. You have it all in here, and this is a waxed canvas. Perfect. So good. And then for those who are going to use the domestic machine, which will probably be quite a few of you, I went and I made one out of cotton. This took me about half the amount of time to make. It sewed like a dream. I have a smaller juki and had no issues whatsoever, even going over this little bit of thickness here. So this is just quilting cotton, but adorable. So cute. So I hope you enjoyed making them. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you share this video and like and subscribe. Let your friends know about the pattern. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.